Merry Christmas and welcome to the sixth day of Christmas. Let's get started.
Hey, we're Drew and Katie Taylor with Catholic Link, bringing you 12 reflections on the 12 days of Christmas. If you're new, please hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the 12th day of Christmas.
And for the sixth day of Christmas, we'll be talking about how our true love gives to us 6 geese a laying.
And what does that mean?
Well, there's the eggs. And when we look at Easter, we see that eggs represent new life.
Wait, I thought this was Christmas.
I know, but why do we have eggs at Easter?
It's a good question.
Because they represent new life. And so today we're really talking about God creating and the idea that in the first 6 days, he created everything out of nothing and
like
brought some newness into the world. He created with a purpose. He created us in his image and likeness. God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. He didn't create haphazardly. We are created male and female. We are created in a designed reason. He has a purpose for each one of our lives. The idea that we are an image bearer, that we get to reflect God. And so definitely check out our video on that whole entire concept. But the reality too, that God looked at creation. He looked at everything he had made and found it very good.
Yeah, I think that's important as Catholics, talking about our human nature that is good, right? Because even though our nature is fallen, we have concupiscence, which is our tendency towards sin. We are still made by God, and so we are still good.
We are. And to look at yourself with that same love, with that same grace.
That's hard. That's hard to do, especially with how fallen and broken I am.
But to sit with that today, to hear God say to you, you are very good. I created you with a purpose because you are made in my image. And that is the gift I want you to be to the world today. And he also created marriage. He instituted the creation of children, go forth and multiply, be fruitful and multiply. He, in that, created us for relationship. And Genesis 2:18 states, it's not good for man to be alone.
I agree.
Which in COVID, a lot of people that are watching this potentially are alone.
Yeah.
And that is one of the most difficult parts of quarantine, of isolation, is that's not what we were created for. But we can still have relationship. And I think that that's a beautiful part of our faith.
Yeah, I think that's a benefit of the internet, right? There's like a lot of evils or bad things about the internet, but maybe and hopefully these videos are a small piece of community for those people who are segregated or quarantined during this time, like we are.
And I think that's why we really encourage you to comment so that we know that you're there, that we can pray for you, that we can purposely join into this community to share our prayer requests, to share our reflections, to grow together. But with that, I think our faith gives us the incredible gift of the saints, which is something that is very unique in Catholicism, that we get to be in communion, that we get to be reaching out and growing with those who have already run the race.
Yeah, the Bible talks about how iron sharpens iron, and we have this cloud of witnesses, these people who have run the race before us, who are already there, who are cheering us on, who are helping us run the race. I think about we started To the Heights ministry, a lot of which was because of Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati and his term of verso l'alto, which means to the heights. And it's just the idea that he lived such a life where he wanted his whole disposition to be pointed towards God, to the heights, that everything that he did was focused on God and helping others reach their heights as well.
Absolutely. Taking the people around him that had less, that had very little, and encouraging them to look to God, to challenge them. One of Drew's favorite stories that he typically tells is about the pool hall. And the idea that Blessed Giorgio Frassati would go into the pool hall, and he was a little bit of a shark and would say like, yeah, I'll play the game pool, but if I win, you're coming to mass with me in the morning. And so he went to where people were at and he challenged them. He won most of those pool games and they all got to come to mass with him in the morning. But the reality that he loved them, he went into where they were and yet called them forth. And so looking at relationships that you've had, friendships that do that for you, that run the race and pull you out of your comfort zone, and saints as well.
And I think maybe today would be a great time to reflect on those relationships. And so think about, are there people in your life that God has put into your life that maybe you can reach out to that you haven't talked to in a long time? Talk to those people, reach out, see if they're struggling, just catch up, build those relationships. And then maybe pick a saint like Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati, who's not a saint yet in the formal sense, but an incredible figure, and create a devotion to them, talk to them because they're in heaven, and they can pray for you.
Absolutely. And so, with that, will be our traditions for today. So, there's that. We also really encourage 6 new experiences. And one of those new experiences, if you haven't heard of the tradition, to pick a saint for the year to really dedicate 2021 to forming a relationship, getting to know, building and cultivating this friendship with a saint, to read writings written by them or about them and just dedicate the year. So for us, we have determined Saint Joseph. We typically do a different saint, but this year we will be teaming up for the year of Saint Joseph to really foster and deepen that bond.
Yeah. And what an incredible example for all the men out there, for the husbands and for the fathers to step up and be the spiritual head of the household. So
So one idea for 6 new traditions today, or 6 new activities. So some of the other new things we'll be doing is maybe it's just easy things like a new recipe or a new cocktail. So for us, we'll be drinking some eggnog because I have it in the fridge.
We have a
And
lot of
I
eggnog
did
in the
promise to
fridge.
keep the eggnog flowing. I know.
You're a huge thing of
I
eggnog.
haven't drank any of it yet. But today I will have at least a cup.
Nice.
And so will the kids. I will also probably do you can do a bone broth for today, which is bone of my bones, to kind of
Or
reflect on that.
6 geese laying, like an omelet. So
An
a lot of things,
omelet.
eggs,
Yes, lots of
anything with
eggs.
eggs.
With that, we are so all over the place, but dyeing eggs and like an Easter egg hunt,
Ooh, yeah.
and making deviled eggs, my grandma's deviled eggs for
Yeah, the
drinks.
best.
We can also do like a gray goose
The
martini,
goose.
or
I get it.
yes, and then we got this book about drinking with Saint Nick, and it kind of just gives different ideas. So we might try the gray goose cocktail that's in there today as something new, because we haven't actually tried a cocktail out of the book yet.
I'm excited.
We just got it. It's new. And maybe some new pillows, a new down comforter, different ideas.
No, well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still watching these videos, that means we're in it for the long haul. So we're excited to see you guys on the next day. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps us out. And again, like, comment down below. Let us pray for you during this time. Merry Christmas and God bless.